Hi everyone, my name is Donna Enslin and my topic presentation is on the legacy of Benazair Bhutto. What do you think? To understand the girl is to understand the legacy. Benazair was born June 21st, 1953 to Nazarat Isfani and Rafakar Ali Bhutto in Karachi, Pakistan. She was raised in a political family. Her father was an important government leader and was elected as Prime Minister of Pakistan in 1973. Benazair attended Ratcliffe College in Cambridge, Massachusetts. This is where she experienced the rights of equal rights of women in other parts of the world compared to how women's rights were in Pakistan. This helped to shape her convictions and political ideas. After she got her graduate degree at Oxford University, she went on to be an advisor to her father as he was the prime minister. Her father was actually overthrown in a military coup in 1977 and hung in 1979 by General Zia. Benazair continued her father's legacy and fight for democracy. She was imprisoned and exiled between 1981 and 1986 for fighting for democracy and resisting the government. In 1986, she actually came back and rebuilt her father's political party, the Pakistan People's Party. A little bit of a timeline for her leadership. She campaigned in 1986 to 1988 for democracy and voting rights that had been halted by General Zia. And she campaigned for the office of Prime Minister. Ironically, President Zia was actually killed in a plane crash during that time, and she was very popular, so she was actually elected the first female and youngest person. She was elected as Prime Minister of Pakistan in 1988. In 1990, she was dismissed from office by President Khan, citing corruption and nepotism, and her husband was imprisoned during that time, even though there was never a conviction on this. So she continued to fight for democracy and actually ran for office again in 1993 and was elected a second time as Prime Minister of Pakistan. The Taliban and Al-Qaeda did not like Benazair because of her political views differed from theirs. She actually in 1996 was dismissed again from office by President Laghari, again on nepotism charges and corruption and undermining the judicial system. This time her husband was again imprisoned and she did a self-imposed exile to Dubai. Despite the second time, in 2003, she was convicted and faced jail time, fines, and was disqualified from holding public office if she returned. So she remained in exile in Dubai. Many considered these charges to be a witch hunt. In October of 2007, President Musharraf actually gave her amnesty on these corruption charges. So she again returned to Pakistan and began to launch another campaign for democracy in 2007. Unfortunately, the Taliban continued their hatred toward her, and she was assassinated by them on December the 27th of 2007. Despite the corruption that surrounded her while in office, she was remembered more for the positive legacy that she left. Her son currently is the chairman of the Pakistan's People's Party and continues to fight for democracy, as well as her daughters continue to fight today for women's rights, health care, and education in Pakistan. Looking at the positive things she did and she fought for during her life. And while Prime Minister, we can focus on four major areas. Democracy is the greatest revenge. That was something that Benazair Bhutto said one time, and she was a big advocate for democracy and voting rights. health care. When she was in office, she eradicated polio. She focused on women's and children's welfare and focused on providing drinking water and electricity for villages. She encouraged free speech, and the media had free censorship, and she allowed student unions to be developed. Education, she started numerous schools, 48,000 primary and secondary schools. And last was the women's empowerment and equal rights. She was the first woman prime minister. She set up women's police stations so women would not have to go to just all male police stations when they had problems. She started schools for girls, and she started the Benazair income support program. This program gave money to money without conditions to low income families. The cash was transferred to the women's bank accounts, which put the power in the hands of the women. They became the decision makers, respected in their communities, and it helped them to achieve a level of citizenship that previously was denied to them. Benazair Bhutto's legacy is one of hope, empowerment, and strength to women everywhere. Here are my references and my photo credits. Thank you for listening.